Hi everyone, it's Christy. I wanted to talk to you about the big thing that's in the news right now. Everyone is talking about the upcoming eclipse on April 8th. And I wanted to hone in on one detail. There's a whole bunch of things that I could say about it, but we'd be here for an hour. So the one detail I want to focus in on is the sign of Jonah. People keep talking about, is this going to be the sign of Jonah? And you maybe have heard about the sign of Jonah, but maybe you haven't read what did Jesus actually say about the sign of Jonah. So let's do that. He talks about it in both Matthew and Luke, and I'm going to read from Matthew. They're real close. They're similar. Matthew chapter 12, starting at verse 38. That's Matthew 12:38. One day, some teachers of religious law and Pharisees came to Jesus and said, "Teacher, we want you to show us a miraculous sign and to prove your authority." But Jesus replied, "Only an evil, adulterous generation would demand a miraculous sign, but the only sign I will give them is the sign of the prophet Jonah. For as Jonah was in the belly of the great fish for 3 days and 3 nights, so will the Son of Man be in the heart of the earth for 3 days and 3 nights." I could continue. There's a little bit more, but that's where I'm going to stop. So, what is the sign of Jonah? Well, the Pharisees wanted Jesus to do some miraculous sign that would prove his authority. And Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of the whale, so that when he went to Nineveh, that proved his authority. It was like a miraculous sign that kind of helped the people see that, okay, this is someone we should be listening to. But Jesus said, referred to the sign of Jonah, the only sign he would give them was the sign of Jonah, which would be the fact that he was going to be 3 days and 3 nights in the grave, and then he would rise again. So the sign of Jonah, according to Jesus, was his resurrection. So to say that the eclipse is somehow the sign of Jonah is a stretch. It's taking something from the Bible and really forcing it onto something today. It's not a direct application. We're talking apples and oranges, and that's all I'm trying to say. But since everyone is talking about the sign of Jonah, it gives us an opportunity. And I think the opportunity is to say, oh, you're interested in the sign of Jonah. Well, let me tell you about it, and use that as a springboard to talk about the resurrection and point people back to Christ. And I think now in particular is a time when not just Christians have been talking about this, but even the non-Christian communities are hearing about this sign of Jonah, and they're curious and they're interested and they're wondering what it all means. And since it's a topic of everyone's been talking about it, I see it as an opportunity for us to engage in conversation with people who might not otherwise be interested in spiritual things. It gives us an opportunity to open the door of conversation and start talking about the resurrection of Christ. We just had Easter a week ago, and now we can talk about the resurrection to the general public. It's a huge opportunity, and one that I hope we won't miss. Depending on your situation, you may have people on your commute, I don't know if you take a bus, a train, subway, whatever. You might have people on your at work in the coffee room talking about it. It just gives us an opportunity to share the gospel, and I think we should be looking at it as such an opportunity, because this event, for whatever reason, has captured everyone's attention. And in many ways, I think people are making a bigger deal out of it than it needs to be. It's just a natural occurring phenomenon. I hear people saying things like, don't go outside on April 8th. It's like, well, that's just superstition, But the point is that we have an opportunity to share Christ, and I think this is a good tool. This sign of Jonah is a way to open the door of conversation. So good luck with that. I hope you have a chance to talk to someone about it and share Christ in whatever way that they're able to, whatever they're open to. So God bless you, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.